Hello everybody, in my last video I mentioned that I had been rearranging my little comic room here. I actually cleared off enough space for one or two more presses. I actually think I have room for two. I went ahead and bought a couple new presses. Now the model that I normally have, the swing away version, is no longer available, I think because I've recommended it on my website and they're just sold out, at least right now, or they're going for astronomical prices. So I found some, I think it's pronounced Vibor, swing away presses that look pretty similar. So I went ahead and bought them. Hopefully they work out, they fit in the space, and the temperatures are right. They're easy to use, they're similar and all that. I don't want to have a whole new learning curve or anything like that. So I thought, what better time for me to give you a short little tour. It's going to be a short tour because it's a small room of my comic room, my workspace, and all that stuff. And also I'm going to unbox the press, or one of them, and go ahead and set it up so you can see where I'm putting it. I think it'll bring me up to 7 presses now. I'm not saying they'll all be occupied all of the time, but I like having the ability, if I do get the time and have enough books, I can keep those presses occupied and turn around books a little bit faster and all that good stuff. So let me take this camera down, walk you around my little room here, and let's just go ahead and do a little tour. Okay, let's go in. Now, this is a work in progress still, so it might be a little bit messy, but yeah, let's just go ahead and take a look. There's really not much to it. Let me do the 360 view here. What we got going on here. Yeah, I can't even stand back far enough to really show all of it to you, but I'll do my best here. Let me go into this tiny door here, which somebody commented in the last video looked like somewhere Harry Potter might live. So, yeah, this is the far end here. You can see my workspace down over there. I stand up to work. I don't sit down. Somebody asked me that recently. And you may notice there's a few missing books on the wall. There's some gaps. Well, that's to inspire me to finish my McFarlane Amazing Spider-Man run. So every day I have to look at those gaps, and it just makes me, okay, I need to buy or work on some books to fill a gap. I just got this one recently, so I filled that gap. And what was the other one? I think I just got that one as well recently. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 left. So rather than just buy the books, I like to find them raw or, at a lower grade, slabbed. Yeah. Okay, so you can see I have a few Star Wars figures here, a few display pieces, that type of thing. But the main purpose of this room is to work. I have obviously, what these lights are for. That's for when I'm filming myself on camera. My presses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna put the new ones here, hopefully. And hopefully that'll be a usable space. Books that I'm going to be working on soon are right here. Books that I'm getting ready to sell are down here. And, like I said, it's not organized yet. I have a few miscellaneous things laying around that I haven't organized yet. All of my work supplies over here. All this stuff you're seeing is probably on my website at improvedcollecting.com if you're interested in mimicking any of this setup. Tack iron here. Backing board with SRP paper for obvious purposes. Really, I'm not going to go into all the little supplies. If you want to see all this stuff, it's just on my website. But yeah, so let's go ahead and unbox the new presses, and let's just see what happens. All right, so there's the first one. Let me get my handy knife out here. I'm going to hold the camera in my hand. I don't really have a good system for... I do have a thing that I can hang around my neck, but I find it to be more of a pain in the butt than is worth it. So I'll just do my best here with one hand. I'll probably pause the video occasionally to maneuver, but yeah, I got the Vibor. I'll put the link to this in the description, and if all goes well and it works good for me, I'll add the link to my website. Otherwise, if it doesn't work for me or there's some design flaw or something, I'll probably return it. I got these off of Amazon. So yeah, let me just go and get this open and we'll continue. All right, instructions. And hopefully these are kind of universal on the way they're set up. I'm guessing those are going to go on the base of it, which I may or may not use depending on how much space I have over here. I may not need them. I do have this wire surface, which depends on how it interfaces there. Get this styrofoam out. Oh, ugh. I didn't know I was going to have some assembly required here. Yeah, not too excited about that one. Okay. If I'd known that, I probably would not have bought this model. Hopefully that's an easy thing to do. But there is the main part of the press right there. Let me get this out of the box. Alright, so my initial impression is this one is just as compact, if not a little bit smaller even. I won't know till I get it in here or do the measurements or whatever, but yeah, it's comparable at least. I'm looking over at the other ones here, and yeah, it's a little bit different design. The edges aren't as rounded, but other than that, it's pretty similar. So yeah, let me look at the directions here and see if I can get this thing put together. I think I'm gonna have to attach it right here somehow. It actually looks pretty straightforward there. So yeah, I'm gonna take a look at the directions, get this put together, and then we'll continue. Oh, and this is a common question I get is when you buy these, you get these two pads. You get one here that's a little less substantial, and you get one that's a little more solid. You keep this orange one, no matter what color it comes, but it's a little more substantial. Yeah, it's definitely the one you want to keep, and you do put your plates. I use the metal plates. I'll show you that in just a minute. But yeah, you want a little bit of give to this, and that's what this allows you. You don't want it to be completely solid, because if you over tighten it and it doesn't have any give, that can be bad news. So yeah, we want a little bit of give. So yeah, you can just toss this one away. So putting this on here was really easy. It's basically just you plug the cord in here, and then you screw this on, and then you just slide this down into this notch right here, and I think we're done. I don't think there's any way to tighten this. I couldn't figure it out, but I noticed on my other press that's loose as well, so that's normal. Plug the power cord in back here, and I think we're good to go. These foot things, these legs are actually suction cups. That would have been nice to have on my other presses back when I was putting it directly on a table, but for the purposes of what we're doing now, I don't think I'll need that at all. This will probably sit directly on the wire shelves, so I won't need that. So let me get this up on the shelf here, and then we can set it up. All right, I put them on the shelf down here and realized these are about 3 inches taller when the handle is up than the other presses are. So it won't fit here. I would have to either lower this shelf a little bit. I don't want to raise this one. I'm about as high as I want to go on that one to be able to use this big thing here. I can't put that one there. So really the solution is I'll put one of the new presses here and here, and it'll just work. You can see where I just barely have clearance here. I had to move this one over a little bit to the right. So it's going to work. So that's good. Let me get this thing plugged in. I want to test how it runs. I want to get the metal plates in here. Let me get those out real quick. Here's one of my metal plates. I just wanted to show you real quick. I got these from Immaculate Comics, Rick Morgan. Highly recommended. His plates will be flat, not warped at all, and I like the thickness of them. I used to just get plates off of Amazon, but they would come a little bit bent, and that's not good. Just a quick tip, though, when you first get these things, make sure you peel this obvious reasons plastic covering off. Let me go ahead and finish up here. Okay, got the plastic off the back of both of these. So what you do is wherever he puts the decal here is away from the book. So this one will be on the bottom. So yeah, these plates are, I believe these are 12 by 9, so they fit one comic book perfectly. And with the limited space in here, that fits my needs. So then you obviously put your comic book sandwich when you're about to press it in there. And then you put the other plate on top. And close it up, get it the right pressure. And then we turn it on, put our heat settings on, and let her rip. Let me go ahead and get this plugged in. We'll give it a test run here. So I was a little worried about it, but it did barely, with about a 1/4 inch to spare, reach the power source. I didn't want to have to add any extension cords or anything like that, so that is perfect. And one tip is if you're setting up multiple presses, you do not want to plug more than a certain number of presses into one outlet. I could put 4 of these small presses onto one outlet and it's fine, but if I plug this big puppy here and I have too many lamps plugged into the same outlet or more than this press going, now I haven't tested it with the new press, but I had it going with 2 of these presses over here and it blew a breaker. So yeah, I probably will only be able to run this big one here by itself. I'll have to test that. Okay, so it's plugged in. Let me just read the directions, make sure there's not something I'm supposed to do before I flip this thing on, safety-wise, before we get going here. Okay, I think we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this thing on, and we'll just figure this out together. All right, so it looks like that's probably the time there. There's probably the temperature. And there's whether it's Fahrenheit or Celsius. We like that it's Fahrenheit, so that's good. There's the time. We'll work on that in a minute. But yeah, temperature-wise, we want to be less than that. So I'm going to put it down to like 120 degrees or something, just to let this just heat up. Now the temperature range is supposed to be somewhere between 60 degrees. So yeah, we're going to be able to get to the range we want. So I'll just do 125 here, set it, and we'll set our time. I'll just set it for 1 minute for right now. And okay, now, okay, there we go. Now it looks like it's heating up. It's already at 104. So I'm guessing what we do is once it gets heated up, it should beep. And then we probably hit this button, similar to the OK button on the other machine. And then we'll hit this and the timer will start. So let's let it get to 125 here. Don't really feel any heat yet. Of course, it just fired up, so that'll take a minute. Yeah, that's why we use 2 plates. So the bottom plate will heat as well. That way we don't have to flip the book over. All right, when it hit 125, the alarm did not go off. Now I have to just check the settings. I think there's supposed to be an alarm, but maybe it's just off right now. But yeah, let's do our timer. Oops. Well, that didn't work. Okay, so how do I start the timer? That's a good question. For some reason, the temperature's up to 132. Not sure why. It's supposed to be set at 125, but that's okay. So if it's not the set button, it must be... Okay, yeah, that started the timer. So yeah, let's let it run through its minute here. And I just want to see what the final alarm looks like. I'm not sure why it's on 100. See, the temperature is coming down now. I don't know why it went up to 132. So that's something to calibrate. Okay, let's see what happens here. We're going to get an alarm. Ooh, that's killing my ears. Okay, it only goes off that many times. So yeah, my other ones, they beep continuously, intermittently until somebody does something. So I really prefer the other way, but maybe there's a way to tweak the alarm settings, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. So yeah, I think this thing's ready for me to test a book in, so I'm going to do that. So overall, I like the machine so far. Obviously, I'll be able to give you a final, whether I recommend it or not. I wish this one was still available. Sorry for the dust. This one I think was about, $100. And that's about the range I want to pay for these, for just being in a hobby, you know. And I like the compact nature of these. I don't need anything more than this. I've pressed hundreds of books with each of these presses, and they are still going strong. And once again, if one breaks, you just spend $100 and you got a new one, right? So I like that. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.